screen because you're connected to
They don't have agendas on their computers.
She said it would come right up.
It's on. The light's green.
No, but the agenda's not up.
Oh, the agenda.
I don't think it
They've
comes
got
from
my PowerPoint,
computer.
but not an
That's,
agenda.
well, I don't think you can do both of them at the same time.
Oh.
So you might need to disconnect
Okay.
and then reconnect it to that other piece. Yeah, I don't think you can do both at the same time. Unless we tried it, well, you'd have to put yours up and then do a split screen.
Oh, right. I hear you. Yeah.
Filmed.
Do you want to try that?
Coming from mine.
Yeah, you want to.
All right, let's see if we can figure it out.
So we'll go back to my computer and try to split screen to iCompass. Or do you? I know, right? You are not on camera.
Oh, we can do whatever we want.
You can do
Yes.
whatever you want.
And you're not on
You
camera
are- you
when you
are-
go up to the podium either. I mean, you can barely see.
It's
when
kind of
you're-
like here, I think.
It's,
Like-
yeah, the camera's set there.
It's just standing there.
Yeah, you're not.
Just your voice.
So is this your?
So while we deal with technical difficulties, do you want to tell us a little bit about Scott Horsfall, who is our new liaison, who is not here tonight?
Yes.
Because I don't know
can.
him very well,
Yes.
but evidently you do.
I do. So Scott's the new liaison between us and the city council. And he is a business owner and owns Living Water Plumbing. You've probably seen their vans around. And active member in the chamber, has lived in Sandy for, I'm going to guess probably at least 10 years. And very, very motivated to learn more about civic practices and city government, and very interested in serving. My experience of him, he's very high integrity, all about working together, working towards solutions, and I think is going to be a phenomenal fit for us. He has one son who is still in, I believe, kind of late grade school, maybe going towards middle school. So I was excited to learn that he's going to be our liaison. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So will he be attending our meetings then?
That's my understanding, right, Andy? He'll be.
Yes. I'm thought he would be here tonight. I don't see him. Oh. I guess I shouldn't have had mine going. So next is approval of the agenda and minutes.
So any additions or corrections to the agenda
That you can't see.
that we don't have in front of us yet for tonight's meeting?
Okay, let me see if I can get a document.
I ran it off on the computer, but I left it home.
What
Well,
did
there's
you
always
push
glitches
control
with them,
what?
I can tell you that.
It's Windows P.
Mine keeps telling me I need a new password for my Microsoft account, and it's sending it by email over my computer, which I can't get into because it wants me to put in a new password.
Right.
Sorry guys, I don't know why it's not
That's
coming
okay.
up.
So I end up having to turn it off, unplug it, take out the battery, and
Called in
start it.
reinforcements.
Yeah. Yay.
Supposed to help
Did
us not
anybody
to-
have a chance to read the minutes?
Yep.
Any additions, comments on those, Joseph? Any
No,
corrections?
they did.
Okay.
I usually look at it either way.
Great work, Lucy.
Thank you.
So I would suggest that we just get a nomination to go ahead and approve the agenda for tonight's meeting, as well as the minutes of the prior meeting in July. So we had our meeting in July. Could
Make a motion.
make a motion, please?
I wasn't at the July
Motion to-
meeting, so I can't
I'm
make a
not sure of the
motion for
words,
it.
but anyway,
You can just move.
I move that we accept it.
Okay, any seconds?
I'll say it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so next on the agenda that's not currently showing in front of you, nor is this, is that along with these changes, when we accept a member to our board now, the approval goes before city council. So Bernice will go before city council,
Yes.
and
Scared me death.
I know. So we can do it several ways. I can go with you and sit up there with you. I'm sure that they will be very nice and very gracious and happy to have you.
As can I. I'm willing to do that as well.
Great, that'd be
So-
great, Heather, actually. You, as the chair, that
And
would be a
when would it
wonderful
happen?
addition. When you are available, I will put it on the agenda. So, if you would like to do it the first meeting in October or the second meeting in October.
When do they meet?
They meet the first and third Mondays. of
First
the
and
month.
third Monday, okay.
So, let's see.
Okay, and I'll get in touch with you and then
Sure,
set up a date.
great, great. So if I could get this to show up on the screen, I would, but it's not doing it.
Maybe plug in that HDMI.
So that first meeting would actually
Oh,
be
duh.
October 1st.
That's
First meeting
why.
would be October 1st, Bernice.
Just pull the agenda and put it
Okay.
on my calendar.
It'd be a Monday and the
Monday, October.
third, you said, or the fourth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right here.
First and
I
third.
thought you already had that plugged in.
So that Monday, would that work for you?
Sure, why not? Get it
sad
over
part is
with.
we should-
At
Okay,
5:30?
I'll just put city council note check.
Okay, great. And then I can pick you up as
And
well.
it's, what time is it, the meeting?
7 o'clock,
At 7, okay.
or 7 o'clock.
So we are on for October 1st city council
There we
meeting
go.
to have Bernice be there with us to get approval for her position on the Transit Advisory Board.
Great. All right, I will put it on the agenda. I don't have it on my screen now. So.
What did you push when you did that?
So,
What?
this
No,
is
go to that
what we will,
Windows P. Sorry. Because I just took it off. Go to Windows P. And which one did you pick?
extend. Now you gotta go here. All right. All right, so we would have gone through this prior to that conversation, but just so that you know, and this is what we will bring to city council.
I'm sorry,
This is what we'll bring to city council, what you see on your, we'll bring your
I
application, which
see.
I have, and just highlight that you are currently a star writer. You have a BA in journalism from California State University. This is just for the rest of the board to know as well, because I know this information, but nobody else has seen it.
obviously.
So, liberal arts from Santa Monica. Employment in advertising as a media director, and then after was a freelance writer. Feel free to correct me or jump in
No,
as
that's
I go
fine.
through. You've lived in California, Philadelphia, and Sandy. And you've been in Sandy for a while, correct?
25 years now. Yeah.
25 years. Former employee of the Sandy Library and currently on the library board.
Yes.
Great.
Not the library board, the Friends of the Sandy Library.
Okay, I will correct that. Friends of Sandy Library. So the bullet point at the bottom is just my highlight, where I'm thrilled to have you because you bring so many different perspectives to the board. You're a star writer,
Oh,
which
definitely.
I love and we need. Marketing expertise is always welcome. You represent a demographic we're always happy to have, and a long-term Sandy resident. So, thank you
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy to take you in front of city council
Oh,
next
that's
month.
nice of you, thank you.
So next on the agenda is contingency and supplemental budget.
So we see the 2015-2017 budget cycle at 1.4 million and then at 2.1.
So the at the end of the 15-17 biennium, we had 1.4 million in our contingency fund, which we actually have a contingency fund for two main purposes, which is obviously a safety net, but it's also there for bus shelters and other capital projects that we may need some cash for. At the end of, sorry, that says 15-17 twice. Should say 17-19. At the end of 17-19, it's projected based on our current revenue that we would have had 2.1 million in our contingency fund. So which is a lot, and we should be very proud of that. And Tuesday, September 4th, it went before City Council to do an interdepartmental loan to two other departments in the city who currently need funds and don't have them. So we have agreed to loan them money with part of our contingency at a bank loan rate, which is higher than we would have in a savings account. So the two loans that you see there, the police is actually worded that it could be up to and no higher because they aren't sure they'll actually need that amount, but the IT department will need that amount. And it was approved.
Okay, and then looking at supplemental budget to address these loans to the other city departments. And is that forthcoming, Andy?
So we did have the supplemental budget on Tuesday the 4th to go before City Council, and there were actually some other pieces to that budget, but our piece is what's listed there. We also needed to have a supplemental budget in our department because when we entered the budget process, we did not have an agreement with Clackamas County in place. So that's not represented in our current budget. And so that is corrected to show that revenue as well as to show that we added a position for Lucy. We also corrected our budget based on a grant to repair the wash bay that we received. In order to move forward on that project, we need to have it in the budget. So that was added to our budget, so we can do that now.
Great.
I will add that I fully expect that once the transportation bill package is put forth and accepted by TriMet, that I will probably go forward for another supplemental budget to reflect that revenue and those expenses that will incur then.
Okay, sounds great.
So, are we ready to move on to marketing?
Yes.
Okay, so we have talked a lot in these meetings about the need for new marketing materials and had some various ideas of things we could do for marketing. What you see in front of you right now used to be the Sandy Rec Guide page. It actually, prior to the trolley, was a picture of our bus. And this, of course, was updated when we got a new logo. This is the new Sandy Rec Guide page, which has really embraced our new branding materials, and I think looks great. Sarah Richardson in the rec department and Muna and myself had some back and forth emails on what we'd like to see in the rec page, what information needed to be in there, and Sarah pulled this together, and I think she did a great job.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Double map. I wish we were meeting in our building because we've put a TV like this one behind Lucy, and it looks like that most of the day. Anyone who walks in can see our buses. This was a screenshot from this afternoon, so you can see that 2 of our buses are sitting at the shop. This is actually a behind-the-scenes admin page, not what the public sees, but it's really nice. So when you walk into the operations center now, there is a screen that shows everyone the buses, and hopefully sparks that conversation to download the app and know where the buses are.
How are we on downloads? Do you have an idea?
I don't know. I actually, I haven't.
Be a good tracking question after X amount of time of announcing the new app coming out.
Yes, thank you. We need to do that. We'll touch more on Double Map.
Okay.
So we had also a while back, and I think this might have even come out of a conversation at a conference, just on the side, we talked about trying to connect with the high school and get involved with some of their marketing campaigns to get the word out about SAM. So what you see there is a banner that's currently hanging at the football field.
Fantastic.
They have asked if they'll give us a buy one, get one free if we also want to be at the baseball and the baseball, softball fields and the basketball courts. So do you guys have feedback about that? What you think of having banners at the schools? Positive, negative, love it, needs a new look?
I love the look, and I think it's an important notice to have at those sporting events. And the basketball courts inside the gym, or in the auditorium, I would guess, right? Which would also cover volleyball as well.
Good point. Good point. Yay.
Any other takes on that?
I like it. Does it need to mention maybe Star on it as well, or do you think just keeping it as Sam, or maybe since they're allowing us to do several different ones, maybe we can do like Sam on one and then Star on one, and maybe like the trolley shuttle on another?
Absolutely. There's no reason we can't add the Star logo here. I tried to keep it as simple as possible because I mainly wanted to get across that we're free in town and call us or go to our website. But having a Star logo on there is a great idea. Yeah. And we could, play around with the bus in the middle. Could be the trolley. Could be a Star bus.
I think it's important to look, too, at the demographic that we're reaching with these banners at the sporting events.
Are these finalized, or are these just rough drafts?
This is, if we decide to move forward with the other two, they can look totally different. They don't have to be the same.
I just don't like where the wheelchair accessible and the person riding on the bike is at, how their background is black. Everything else has color. The number and the website being black is fine, but everything else has color except for that. And to me, I understand you want it to be catchy, but maybe make it green, like one of the greens in Sam, or something. It sticks out like a sore thumb in a bad way, not in a good way. It's not attractive.
Yep.
I have some concerns if we're going to put this at the schools about having Star on it. because I don't want the kids to get confused and us be overwhelmed with star
Flagging down
calls.
stars
Yeah.
as they go by.
I can see having the shopper on there, but I don't know that star really needs to be on there,
So I.
since it doesn't apply to the school kids, I mean, you know.
I will say that one thing that I probably would do with the next banner is, since we will be adding to the shopper shuttle in January with our transportation funds, House bill funds, and we will be running the trolley by the school after school
Mhm.
as part of the shopper shuttle. We may want to highlight that with our next banner.
Mhm.
Picture of the trolley, gonna run by your school, you know, it's gonna be here, maybe even list times if we're ready. Just to highlight that service. We could also add somewhere small, star dial-a-ride at the bottom, although I don't know that high schoolers know what a dial-a-ride is, but there are parents at the games and grandparents at the games
Mhm.
watching, so it's a broader audience than,
Mhm.
just the high school students.
Right. But I think that should be de-emphasized, because like I said, I'm pretty well convinced, knowing kids, that what'll happen is that you'll get a whole bunch of people calling for star rides that are like 15 or 16 years old, want to ride to school.
Right.
Could we put some nomenclature? There's, I know, limited space on these banners, but something along with the, if we chose to put the star logo on there, that it would be, as far as the population that it's targeting.
Mhm.
Could you say student star or student express, or just use the word student to indicate it is for the school kids?
Well, the star isn't.
Just the trolley.
But you were saying you wanted the students to know star was one thing and the student bus was another.
Well, there isn't a student bus per se.
Well, the trolley, I think.
Well, that's for
Whatever-
everybody,
Whatever
though.
you were using, just to indicate that this is for the school kids.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that if you're going to put star on there, you almost need to add elderly and handicapped someplace in that little blurb about star.
Except Star is open to the general public.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. Star is for everyone.
Oh, okay. I
So we
didn't
might
realize
just
that.
suddenly have a scheduling demand that is so miraculous. I know.
Yeah,
We've already
Star is
added a shopper
already
shuttle to help
overwhelmed.
alleviate Star's scheduling demands.
And
So,
yeah.
Star is available for everyone.
Okay.
ADA does take priority in scheduling and in rides, but it is available general public.
Okay.
We'd have to really be careful with our wording and placement of logos, because since SAM is free
Right, and Star is not.
and Star is not, that
Right,
there's a
good point.
fee for that. So it might even be that Star is a separate banner,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or that we de-emphasize it.
So, and that just makes me think, going back to the rec page, we could use a mountain like Sarah did here in the bottom with a star vehicle, a trolley, a bus, and somehow use our words to convey the differences.
Well, just like the Mount Hood Express has, each ride is $2, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
I think you do need to put that in there for the star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we would definitely need to highlight that it is not free in town, similar to the rest. But we could use, that
You
that
could.
idea of multiple images
Sure.
to
Mhm.
get across that we are
All the various services.
various, variety
Yeah.
of service.
There's one-
That's actually a good idea.
One green mountain that isn't filled, you can put it in
Yeah.
there.
It just looks pretty.
Okay.
All right, so, sorry, I've got to guide you in the agenda.
You're fine.
Because you can't see it. And I would try to do a
No.
split screen.
We can
but
see it now.
Yeah.
It's up now, so.
You can see the agenda?
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah. See the portion the page that we're on. So,
You see this?
yes.
Okay. So we had funding in here. I don't see any big changes in our funding coming in anytime soon, other than the transportation funding, which we've talked about for probably a year now. So I just added these two slides to remind you of what we put in our package for that funding. This slide 1 was just to let the committees that were involved have a better idea of what SAM is, you know, our population, the rides we did, which, by the way, those are our fiscal year 19 rides, and we're up again from fiscal year 18, so that's exciting.
Excellent.
Yay. And that is basically to have admin and infrastructure improvements, update our dispatch software, new computer equipment, bus and bus stop improvements. I'm hoping that this those bus improvements can be Wi-Fi, that the city has long wanted and had as a goal. City council's had that as a goal. So I'd like to add Wi-Fi to at least the Sam Gresham route. Add an evening route for improved connectivity on Sam Gresham, evening route, and if we're really lucky, 2 on Sam Estacada. And then we've already talked about we're gonna add 2 hours to the shopper shuttle. And at the end of the day, when school lets out, we'll make sure that shopper shuttle goes by the schools. And now that Cedar Ridge is right there by the high school, we'll be able to hit 2. Hopefully help them with some transportation and some after-school program transportation. And then any funding that we have that may be extra above our needs there will go into that capacity planning building, where we will try to get some new break rooms, administration space, training equipment, and so forth. So I know you guys have seen that for a year. Just letting you know that's officially what happened.
It's nice to have it encapsulated in one little slide.
And then finally, no, not finally, I also have on here, and I wanted to touch base on our planning grant. And I'm not sure how well you can see this, and I actually didn't mean for you to see this very well because I don't want to go over it, but just to let you know that it is official, and I got the IGA yesterday on the consultants that we chose for our updated master plan. We hung in there in the negotiation process and said that what we really needed was for them to do the onboard surveys, not us, because it's really hard with the staff that we have to do onboard surveys really well. And so ODOT graciously added to our grant award amount so that we could keep that in there, and it's going to happen. So these 3 are our main key staff, and I do have in here their resumes if you just want to take a look. Michelle here on the first page is from the Jarrett Walker and Associates firm, which is out of Portland, and I have a lot of respect for. They just did City of Canby's master plan update. It was a 5-year plan, not a 20-year plan. So if you want to see some work that she led and did for a transit agency, you can go to the City of Canby's website and read their updated master 5-year plan. I've actually taken a class from her, a day-long workshop at a national conference. She's very good. She's very articulate. I'm super happy to have her on board. This gentleman is currently a lead consultant for TriMet for the transportation bill package that TriMet is putting together. He is very intelligent and has a lot of transportation planning experience. So looking forward to him. And then this third gentleman is also a transportation planner, and then I don't know him personally, but his resume looks great. And then they also, as part of the package, have another consulting firm that has expertise in outreach to populations that are difficult to survey or get to, and has expertise and knowledge in how to do that. So that consulting firm is called JLA, and I'm not sure who they will send on their behalf, but it is part of our package. And that is it for me. Oh, ITM, sorry. No, I'm looking at the agenda and we have an ITS update. So, Joyce, I will probably need your, I've gone black. I will probably need your hands-on knowledge to chime in with me here, but we're having some issues with our tablets. Sometimes they decide to go black and not connect with the internet. Sometimes they decide to go white. I was riding the bus trying to troubleshoot one day, and the tablet went black, and I went onto the app and could still see the bus moving and know where the bus was. So, so at least our customers aren't losing the bus when that happens. It doesn't disappear from the app, but it's causing some data gathering issues. The numbers aren't matching up. The drivers are still counting to make sure that it's the same. It was a lot better this month than the prior month, but it's not perfect. And the tablets aren't working for the stop announcements on Freightliners. So Mount Hood Express, you're not currently getting stop announcements. They have told me that they are aware that that's happening, and that's not just us, that's across the board, so they're trying to push out a software update to help fix that problem. Fingers crossed that goes on. I had a conversation with Columbia Gorge Express manager not too long ago, because they also about the same time contracted with Double Map. So they're also having some issues, some on-time issues. Our on-time performance is way off with the Double Map. So Columbia Gorge Express says they're also having that problem. Their on-time performance is way off using Double Map of what it should be. And then I talked to someone at ODOT who is going to temporarily oversee Columbia Gorge Express, and we're going to get together to see if we can't see if we're having the same issues and try to communicate with Double Map as more of a united front than the one party that's having
So this
problems.
is software problems, all of it?
Yeah. Yep. Seems to be related to the tablet. So with this equipment, I could have chosen to have a box installed in the bus that then is wired to a tablet, and instead I chose a tablet that has the GPS in it. I don't know if it's because it's the tablet with the GPS in it and not the other system, or if it's just problems with our connectivity, where we are, I'm not sure. But it does seem to be the tablet.
Well, it's good to know we're not the only ones. That doesn't help it work better, but
Yeah.
it's not something in our system.
The GPS part of it works. I mean, that part works. It's the GPS part. It's the rest of it doesn't.
And I will say for Double Map that, you know, some of it is on our end and learning too. Just user error, and they're pretty sensitive. So they're, especially on Mount Hood Express, for some reason your counts are over. When they push 1, it becomes 113 times. And they currently don't have a way to take them out if you push too many. They're gonna give us a takeaway button to try and fix that. aspect. But anyway, so there's, I mean, you know, it's been on both sides, but we are definitely having software problems with Double Map.
Seems like they would have a software expert there who could fix those glitches.
I do meet with them weekly over the phone, and they run software in the background to try and fix what I'm discussing, or they shoot me, how do you troubleshoot? But I think we're, after 2, almost 3 months, we're getting beyond that, and I've asked that they fly back out and send an installer. Do you have any other things about the tablets that I have left out or not popping up in my brain?
No, I think you've covered it.
That's too bad because that was such a promising idea.
Well, the drivers are really getting tired of doing both.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Want to know when they can quit with the paper stuff.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's probably our most pressing issue. And what I've told Double Map is I have drivers that are going to stop. I mean, we've had a couple of stubborn drivers who have just not used the tablet because they don't want to do both. I don't think they're doing that anymore. But, I mean, it's an issue. The driver part is a bigger issue to me than taking the time to get it right. So that's where we are. The app works. You can know where your bus is. You can look at your, works great. You can look at your bus stop and know if it's accessible, know if it has lighting, know if it has a bathroom. You know, all of those parts work. The parts I was most excited about on the back end of reporting is what's not really fleshing out at the moment.
And so you think that if we went to the plugged-in system that it might work better?
I don't know. I don't know. As Joyce says, if the GPS works and the plugged-in part is the GPS part, so I don't know. They may have to just, I don't know if they have another type of tablet that we can try. At the moment, I'm not sure.
The tablets do work off the cell phone towers, but, you know, the SAM shouldn't be having any problems.
Right.
No, going straight up and down the highway mostly.
Yeah.
They should be getting signals just fine.
So how much time are we going to allow for this basically to not be fully functional for what we purchased it for? And without some kind of consideration from Double Map
Right.
for this is a long, not so much learning curve, but it's a great inconvenience. It's not providing us the data service that we were, like you said, looking for.
That's a good question. I haven't really put a time to it. My last conversation with them is that they weren't providing what is in my contract. So, and that we needed it fixed. So, I don't know. I'm hoping once I have a conversation with ODOT, it becomes a little clearer of what our next steps might be and how long we're going to put up with what we've got.
Okay.
Bummer.
Very disappointing.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. That being said, as we've seen tonight, software and new technology comes with glitches. So do buses. It's a headache in the office every day about either a tablet, a bus, a computer, a database. I mean, I love it. I don't want to go back to pencil and paper and put it in a file drawer, but I also want to throw my laptop out the window and
Only
say
in
bad
America.
words.
Only in America would we pay a fortune for technology that isn't working correctly.
Right, right. Yeah.
Technology's great when it works.
Mhm.
So I will start keeping you guys in the loop about that. You'll be hearing from me offline anyway, because we have a couple things coming up that I'll need your input, and I'll need it before our next meeting. So I'll just give you an update on Double Map while I'm at it.
How long is our contract with them?
3 years.
So we must be about halfway through it.
No, we just started.
We
We're
just
2 months
started?
in.
Oh,
2.5 months. It started at the end of June.
hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, you know, is, let's just clear it all out now.
Yeah, we may have to enumerate what goals we had set down in the contract that aren't being met,
Mm-hmm.
and put it back in their ballpark. If they want to continue the contract, that they'll need to meet these goals for us.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Those are all my updates. I believe it's Teresa's turn with neighbor updates.
Alrighty then.
On my, I'm gonna end on a sad note tonight.
You're gonna end on a sad note, or
I
I
just
am the
I
sad
just
note?
did.
No, no, no.
No, I just ended. So you just bring us back around, please.
I can, there we go. So, you know, probably the biggest news with the Mount Hood Express, similar to what Andy was talking about, is the STIF funding that's gonna be coming up. That's gonna be a nice enhancement. We did receive word, one of the projects that we had applied for was match dollars for a TGM planning grant through ODOT, which will actually be looking at a county-wide transit development plan. So right now, one of the challenges that we have is while all of our transit entities, Sandy and Candy and Wilsonville and TriMet all have their individual plans, obviously about, you know, well, geographically a much larger piece, but about 35% of the population actually lives in an area that is not within a transit district. So we have a huge percentage of the population that lives in typically unincorporated areas, a few incorporated areas that just don't have transit service. So one of the things that we're really going to be looking at with this transit development plan, the intent is not to preempt any planning that's already been done, but instead to really take a close look at the connections between communities and the areas in these areas that don't have direct transit service and what kinds of options there are to provide direct transit service in the future. So it's really kind of an exciting opportunity to take that money, you know, like I said, a chunk of that money right now is going toward the Mount Hood Express, partially because that's the only unincorporated area that actually has a plan in place. And there will continue to be money that flows toward that project. But as we complete this transit development plan that covers the entire county, there's going to be an opportunity, you know, maybe one of the areas, maybe we identify an area near Sandy that isn't currently being served that would really benefit from service, and the county contracts with Sandy to provide some kind of transit service in that area. Or there's a connection between, you know, one community and another that needs to be met. So I think that's, it'll be another couple of years down the pike. Expect that you'll hear more from me about this project as it starts to roll out. But I think it's going to be a really exciting opportunity kind of for that big picture piece of transit development throughout the county. Kind of on a little bit of a side note, but I think really good news, Clackamas County also applied for several different projects with the regional coordination funds that TriMet made available out of their STIF money. So TriMet wanted to have some dollars available to provide services like last mile shuttles, like what happens in Forest Grove, as well as better connections for communities coming into the TriMet service district. So Wilsonville had a successful application to enhance some of their service going from Wilsonville into the TriMet service district. And we've also managed to get funding to expand the Clackamas Community College shuttle, which is actually a shuttle that's open to the public. It runs between the campus in Oregon City out to the Harmony campus and the Clackamas Town Center. They're going to have expanded service. We're also going to have last mile shuttles in the Clackamas industrial area in Oregon City. We're going to do some planning around having a connection, a commuter shuttle service between Oregon City, Westland, and Tualatin And the city of Milwaukee is also going to be doing some planning around last mile shuttle. So we had a very successful round of grant applications there. My workload just exploded. That's all I'm going to say. My workload just exploded. We're almost done with our RFQ for purchasing new buses for the Mountain Hood Express service. That's exciting. We'll also be looking at getting some additional buses as the STIP money rolls in. That's really the most desperate need that we have for the service. As I've discussed, the preventative maintenance bills are killing me. But we hope to be able to get these new buses moving along as quickly as possible. It's been a much more lengthy and painful process than I anticipated in getting these buses ordered, but I'm this close. So I'm hoping actually to get those orders in within the next week. And other than that, Joyce, are there any other big service issues or anything other than just kind of our standard?
Have they discussed any kind of possible shuttle service between Brightwood and Sandy?
Our village shuttle currently
Yeah, we
serves
have
that.
service. We have service there right
Yeah.
now.
So if somebody, say at Calamity Jane's wants a ride, they can call you? Or what do they do if they want to get a
Well,
ride?
they can
from
flag
Idaho?
stop us.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and we will deviate. We'll deviate up to one time per route. So the village's shuttle service is what we call a point deviated fixed route service. So it
Mhm.
runs between Sandy and goes all the way up to Rhododendron.
Okay,
And it partially follows Highway 26, but it also goes back to the Brightwood store, and during the summer it goes, actually runs by Sandy Ridge. So we've got that's what we call a flag stop service. So if you
Mhm.
stand by the side of the road and the bus goes by, and you stick your hand out, they will stop and pick you up.
oh, okay.
Which we don't do with the commuter service, which is the express that goes all the way up to Timberline. Yeah, also, any member of the general public that's within 3/4 of a mile of the fixed route can call and request a stop or request a route deviation.
Oh.
So as long as we can get to you, that is one challenge we've had with some of our
Mhm.
requests, is if you live on a gravel road that's one lane winding through the trees and we can't get the bus in there, we can't get the bus in there. But we do have the ability to do all that. So there already is service that's going on. That's a 7-day-a-week service right now. It's running 3 times a day. We've got a morning, early afternoon, what time is it, about 1 o'clock it runs?
No, 11:45.
Okay, all right, and then early evening, late afternoon, early evening shuttle. Part of the STIF funding will actually be to add, most likely an evening run to that service 7 days a week as well.
That's good.
Yes.
So, you hit on the planning process in the beginning. Did you get the grant, or did you get a TGM grant?
Yeah,
You
we
did
did
get it.
officially awarded the TGM grant.
And I know the focus originally was mainly for the connections in the metro area, but did it expand
It
by
did
the
expand.
end? Okay, so it was approved with the
Yes.
expansion
Yes,
to see.
and that's one of the
Okay.
reasons ODOT was very excited about it. and
I'm
approved
very
it
excited about
because-
it, yeah.
Because it wasn't, there were some concerns with the way we originally scoped the application, that it was focusing on areas that already had transit plans in place. But when we expanded the scope to start covering some of the other areas throughout the county, that's when ODOT definitely wanted to move forward with it. So.
Great. I missed that piece. Great.
Yep.
Congratulations. That'll benefit the county.
Yeah, I think it will.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right, any other questions for me, for either the county in general or the Mountain Express stuff?
Clackamas County, the Clackamas Community College shuttle. Does that use TriMet buses, or is that a separate?
It's a separate
Vehicle.
service, so they contract it, they have a contractor, but it was a program that was originally started back when we received a funding source called Jobs Access and Reverse Commute, or JARC. So it was a JARC application that originally funded it. And JARC funding focused on commuter needs, with also education being part of that, which is why they were able to fund that connection between the two campuses, better connections throughout the community there in Oregon City. Because we do have some challenges in Oregon City in terms of our transit connections. We've got the transit center downtown, we've got all the commercial and government and industrial stuff up at the top of the hill. They don't connect particularly well, and I'm not walking up that hill. So it's been a great service to help pull some of those connections together. The exciting part is now, so we're going to have that additional expanded service running from the campus over to the Harmony campus and then over by Clackamas Town Center. But we're also going to end up having this last mile shuttle service within Oregon City, which is something that's been desperately needed for years. There's areas like South End, the whole South End Loop area of Oregon City. We lost TriNet service there 9 years ago. So we've had tremendous issues with providing even services for folks who live in group homes there and things like that lost their lift service because of the discontinuation of that TriNet line. So it's going to be an opportunity to blanket those areas that have been underserved now for quite a long period of time and deal with some of those, I'm going to call them geographic connection issues. You know, again, it's not technically not that far between the stops when you look at the stops, but when you're going straight uphill, it's really far. So, and most of our folks can't handle it. So I think that between the enhancement of those two services, we're going to see some amazing stuff happen in that area, which is, I really think, is much needed. That's an area that has some of our neighborhoods in Oregon City have a very high percentage of low-income population. You know, it's really an opportunity for them to get a level of service they've never gotten before.
That's great. Thank you.
All right.
Anything else anyone needs to or wants to add to the agenda at this point?
Oh,
Andy does.
We did bring
there should be separated by
material for you to, this again is back to part of the marketing that we have. You've seen these though, I believe. Right. But just, we have a new printing company. So we have new schedules coming out. We're updating them. We produced a coloring book.
Oh, wow, cute.
Lovely.
For the kiddos because, you know, we do go in the schools
Oh, cute.
to teach safety on public transit.
And how to ride the bus.
How to ride the bus. Oh, Muna gave you all great packets that I just dismantled.
I did tell you.
Okay.
We have all neatly organized.
And I'm like, look what we have.
Past tense. Past tense. That's great. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, the coloring books are adorable.
Yes, and what a good idea.
Lucy was
Nice
able
way
to
of
do
reminding the kids that
trolley
they can't
page
just.
on the inside, which is fantastic. Thank you.
Are there two there or just one?
Just
That's
one.
one.
Oh,
And I
okay.
didn't bring one for you guys.
Thank you.
And that's just the letterhead.
Great.
I like that.
That's really,
Really nice.
Sticker, Karen?
Oh.
Do you want a sticker? I don't think
I
you
guess
have
I
one in
didn't
there.
get
I don't
one,
think
did
you
I?
have one in there.
Thank you.
I've got an extra sticker here too, Andy.
Just color on it.
Absolutely.
So
You
cute.
guys got it
Thought
at
of
the beginning
it.
of the meeting. I've been colored
That's right, we should have handed them out early.
These are great. I love these coloring books.
You should have
Terrific.
these for the kids to color and then turn them back into you. Put them on the buses.
Right?
Yes.
You're like
Mm-hmm.
community kids showing their support. That's awesome. I thought
I do like
Isn't
it.
that cute?
it's amazing.
But I like this, it's
It's,
active.
Oh, I love
solid.
it.
Yeah, right. Good words. Great marketing words here.
That's right.
Active.
We're marketing approved. Excellent.
Good.
There's only one mistake I see. In the word leaving, why do we have a dash in the middle of it?
I don't know, where is the
What?
word leaving?
On the next to the
coloring
last
book?
page. If you are leaving city limits, it says LEA-VING.
Oh.
Where?
Number 5
Next to
on the
last
last
page.
page of the coloring activity book.
We'll send it to you for proofreading next time,
Yeah.
Karen.
Sorry.
No, thank you.
Journalism background again.
Nope.
Yep. It's great. There's these
Very cool.
This is nice, I like this.
Isn't that fun?
Now, where is this given out?
So when we go into the schools,
They don't leave the
No,
and they do how to ride the bus safely, and then they actually will also utilize a bus that they take on how to, that it's very different from a school bus, riding a school bus, as far as where
Put it on there so you can see
you
it.
stand, and the fact that with a school bus, you can cross when it's safe to cross, but not with a
What a great
transit bus.
idea.
Yeah.
Great idea, start with the kids and then
Yes.
grow up.
Yes.
The services there.
You'd have
Who
to-
designed
you'd have
this,
to make sure that
this
you're picking
little coloring book?
the right
Yellow,
color.
isn't it yellow or like?
I don't know.
Are we ready to resume?
One of the two.
So,
But it's just
Andy?
eyesore to me. I mean,
Who designed the coloring book?
So, South Clackamas Transportation or Transit District, I'm not sure. Transportation, thank you. Was gracious enough. They have put out a coloring book for several years. They let us borrow theirs. So we pulled, like the
Great.
bus on the front is from their coloring book. We made, changes to it, obviously, like, Lucy put the trolley page in there and, you know, they had some different material, but
Well, it's a very good
it's
publication.
very
Mhm.
cute, isn't it?
very great,
Yes.
yeah,
Very informative.
very
Yes.
great. Okay, anything else to bring in before we close the meeting? Okay, can I get a motion to close the meeting, please?
Also move.
Okay. Second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Roxy.
Yeah.
Okay, and our next meeting will be in December. And,
I believe it's the 19th, but I'll have to check.
okay, third Wednesday, and we will again be meeting here at the council chambers, starting at 5:30. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
It is the
Thank you.
19th.
Thank you.
When in
Okay,
December?
December 19th is our next meeting.